What is up, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hello, hello, hello. So glad that you're here with us. We are excited for another Adobe Live. It's Friday. What is
Hi,
up,
yay,
everybody?
Claudio. Oh, I
Hope
love
you're
that. It's a
having a
party on a
fantastic day. Hello,
Friday.
hello, hello. So glad that you're
What
here
up?
with
I'm getting
us.
like
We are
feedback on
excited
my end.
for
Hope you're
another
having
Adobe
a
Live. It's
fantastic day. Hello,
Friday.
hello.
What is
Hi,
up,
yay,
everybody?
Claudio. Oh, I
Hope
love
you're
that. It's a
having a
party. How are you
fantastic day.
doing,
Hello, hello,
everybody?
hello. So glad that you're
What
here
up?
with
I'm getting
us.
like
We are
feedback on
Good,
my
excited
end.
good.
for
Can you
Hope
hear
you're
me,
another
having
Adobe
Claudio?
a
Live. It's
fantastic day. Hello,
Friday.
hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Just had a little hiccup here on my end.
No,
Um,
that sounds good.
yeah, thank you, everyone. Appreciate everyone's patience. But yeah, everyone, again, welcome. My name is Claudio Savala Jr., education evangelist at Adobe. I'm based in Texas, and I'm just so excited to be here once again with all of you. Like I said, Friday, we get to explore some more AI, spark creativity in the classroom with storytelling. We're going to talk about some storytellings in Adobe Express. But I have my wonderful friend and colleague, uh, Martha.
Oh, thanks for the intro, Claudio. No, I'm excited. Hi, everyone. If this is our first time meeting each other, I'm Martha Bongiorno, and I work to support all the wonderful educators and students through our community team at Adobe for Education. And one of the bright lights of my day, my week, my life over here is being able to work alongside Claudio and get to see the magic that he brings to everything he does. So we're going to be exploring Adobe Express AI and imagination through one of our coolest guided activities that does not get enough love, the Storybook guided template today.
100% right. Yeah, as we were preparing for the session, it was like, this one is a fantastic. You're going to enjoy it. And like you said, it just doesn't get that much love. I think it was maybe an underrated guided
Mhm.
activity. But for the next 55 minutes, we are going to talk about Adobe Express for Education. Remember, it's a quick and easy content creation app for education from Adobe, free for K through 12. I know a lot of people don't realize it. Like once when they're using it, like, oh, it's free. Like, yes, it's
Mhm.
100% free. So just ways that you can boost creativity, student engagement, and share like tips on how to supercharge productivity.
Amazing. Just shouting out some folks over here in the chat real quick. We've
Yes.
got Jessica Adams. Hello. We've got Hamanshu. Hello, hello. And then if you're joining us with your class today, now or later, just drop us a chat. Hello. We love seeing all the cool things that you're doing with students and teachers in your schools, districts. But today, Claudia and I are going to live demo and push all the buttons to show you how
Yeah.
features within this guided activity, I keep calling it guided template, guided
It's all right.
activity works. Same thing as a template for you to kind of work off of. And I love saying that push all the buttons. We cannot break this thing, right? It's a great
Exactly.
way to get familiar with a tool and explore all the different possibilities of creating. And there's always that undo button if we need it, and a refresh button and editing versions that we can go back to. So remember, we can use Adobe Express for Education right away in your classroom today. And so let's go ahead and get started, Claudia.
Absolutely, dive. And I like what you said, the undo. I like Martine the other day called it the oops button. So it was
Ooh.
like the oops button. So I was like, yeah, I was like, I like that, the oops button. So we'll show you where the oops button is when we get there. So yeah, so here we are on the home screen of Adobe Express. So students, if you're watching as well, we're going to be working through the project, the guided activity. But when you log in, this is what you see. So we want to make sure, like, letting you know how to get to the actual activity from the home screen. So, what you'll want to do is, you see, we have some activities, but we also have it shared. We'll have a link. We'll put it up here shortly for you all to access it as well. And I think I don't know, Martha, you might be able to drop it in the chat too. But so we'll click over here to activities on the left side here, and we have all these wonderful projects and activities. Now I'm looking at it as from the teacher side, but everyone has access to those guided activities. And so teachers, you can find it this way as well. We're going to scroll through. Oh, by the way, I should, before I click there, just FYI everybody, right now we designed a book bento box. That is our current challenge, guided activity challenge. So we actually won't be doing that one today, but just letting you know, FYI, it is there. So Clicking through here, so many great ones. Very, I mean, I still love the action figure one, which we've talked about
Mhm.
before, but this one right here, illustrate a storybook. Like you were saying, Martha, it is one that I just don't. Yeah, this like doesn't get a lot of love, and I've gone through and seen it several times. Like this is actually a very well put together uh, guided activity that I'm glad we're going to actually highlight it here. So I'm gonna click this to open that up.
I mean, I'm very biased about this one just because of the background being a librarian and all. But y'all, it doesn't matter if you're an ELA teacher, humanities, science, math, there's a place for storybook writing, in my opinion. And Claudia and I had this conversation the other day. Just I think when you go into guided activities, oftentimes you're looking specifically for good reason, an ELA template or a
Hmm.
science template. But this one is so adaptable to any content area for any grade level because your babies can be writing in elementary school and working on setting or the character development, all the way through your high school students who could be generating picture books about hardcore chemistry topics and
Yeah.
breaking that down for younger students. So it really depends. Claudio, also, Miss Nunez's class joined in from Riverside, California.
Hey,
So I wanted to give them a
hello,
shout
Miss Nunez
out.
class. Hello, everyone in Miss Nunez class. So glad that you're here, Martha. I love the fact that you like sharing, like, even though it's ELA, like that this could be broadly used just across multiple content areas. So, as teachers and students, like just because you see it some way doesn't mean it has to be that way. That's you have
Mm.
the. I always say you have the creative control to like make changes and adjust, pivot to use that pivot. um,
Oh
all
my
right.
gosh, that's
So
so
the
true.
so the first thing we're going to do here, and this is something that I always try to make sure and remind everyone to do because it's so easy to dive in and forget. Come up here to the top left corner, we got Adobe Express for Education file. You see untitled. Just just rename that. I'm just going to call this illustrative story here. You can call it whatever you want. That's what I'm going to call this. I hopefully don't have another project. Yeah, yeah, good. I don't have another project named like that. So, the wonderful thing in Adobe Express is if you name a project and you try to name it with the same name, it'll give you a little heads up warning. You might want to change it up. Also, since we're in the guide activity, I always like to point this out on the right hand side of the screen. You see it says learn. That's basically like a walkthrough of
Mhm.
what this activity is. Which so like if you go back and do this on your own, you kind of like what were Martha and Claudio talking about? Like I missed a step, or you could always click that little video and it kind of tells you what it does, which is this little button right here, and then it gives you basically kind of like in a nutshell what you're doing in this project. But since we're doing it together, I'm going to close that out so that way, we're basically going to do what's in that little panel all together. So we've got our project here. We got it named. So Martha, as I was like after we talked about this the other day, we're kind of prepping for this. I thought like what is a good kind of story to kind of remix and change it up. And I didn't get a chance to share this, but I was like the tortoise and the hare. I just thought, why
Oh,
don't we the tortoise
yeah.
and the hare, kind of like a traditional story that's been told for so many generations. So I figured like let's talk about the tortoise and the the hare, tortoise in a shell with the hare. There
Cute.
we go. So first thing we're gonna do is so there we first off at the bottom, just to let you know, we've got three basically pages within this project right now. So we got the beginning in the middle, and then we have kind of the ending. But it doesn't mean the story has to end there. So that's kind of one of the great things of this project. So we'll get to that here in just a bit. So um and then we could always create, Martha, I think we could always create a cover page too if we want to, but I guess we'll just kind of go with what's here. So here's what I thought, Martha. So we're gonna take kind of do the first things first, like change out what we as far as like what's in the story. So I went ahead and did a little preparation here. So I've got this text box, and also Martha, if I forget something, please let me know here. So,
You're good.
uh,
There's just one thing I wanted to point out because I think our photos are covering it up at the bottom. This is a multi-page guided activity. So when we say storybook, there are 3 pages that are already here for you. So when Claudia was talking about beginning, middle, and end, there are 3 different pages and stages that you can do, and you can duplicate or remove those pages as you see fit. And then a huge shout out to Tim, Michael, and Jessica as well. I just saw them jump in the chat.
awesome. Thanks for pointing that out, Martha. Yeah, it's it. You'll see it like um there's this white bar right here, but if on your computer or your device, you should be able to see the 3 pages there at the bottom. So that's just kind of like our basically well, your pages that you have open. So
Mhm.
I'll click right here where it says Once Upon a Time. So I'm going to keep that Once Upon a Time just because, you had traditional like stories that tell Once Upon a Time. So this one's like the village, the small town here. So I'm going to swap that out. Basically, what I'm doing is just selecting the entire um, content here or the text. And what I'm going to do is paste what I've copied. So I've already got some text that I've already had prepared, but I want to point this out. This is a feature that was fairly recent. So if I click right here, it says more, this right here, paste and match style. So like, let's say if you copied text from somewhere else and it's got like its own design style. When you drop it in, sometimes like, I don't know if you've ever done that, paste it in, Martha, like, and it doesn't match because it was a whole different font and style. So doing this right here will make sure that whenever I paste, it will match what's already here. So I'm going to use paste and match style, boom, which is wonderful, like, and exactly like it. In the other document that I have, it's not the same. So here we have in the sunny meadow, we got the speedy hare love to brag about how fast he can run. And so I think if you've never heard the story of the tortoise and the hare, they're racing against each other. Obviously, we know rabbits or hares. Most of the time, a lot faster than a tortoise. And so we've got some boasting going on. The tortoise challenged him to a race, and he laughed and said, well, yes, obviously, in hair is, this is an easy win. Like, it's an easy win.
Mhm.
So, oh, so we've got the story, Martha. So, I think our next step is, maybe let's play with the image in here. What do you think?
Oh, I love this. And I just have a million ideas for new lessons that I want to go do.
Oh, love it.
So we have our generative AI prompt in here. It has the prompt listed at the bottom in the image. Claudia's going to demo for us. But also, if you don't have access to AI, maybe your district has it turned off, or you're wanting to just explore your own photography skills or explore the thousands of stock photos you already have available to you, you don't have to use the generative AI. But what I like about it is it's helping our students amplify their own imagination. Like Claudio and everyone here, if you've seen other Adobe Lives with me, I feel like the least artistic person in the world. Like I'm creative in a lot of different ways, Claudio, but hand drawing or that type of thing is not my jam.
Hmm.
So being able to bring in what I have up here in my brain to light through generative AI really helps me as an educator. So I supply the heart, but like
Yeah.
it provides the what I'm thinking of and what my heart is feeling.
Yeah, no, definitely, Martha, like your heart is always like appreciated and we love it. And so, but since you mentioned the photo, so I'm going to do this for everyone watching, just in case you do have it AI turned off. First off, let me drop in the prompt. So I I have this. This is our Once Upon a Time, and I'm gonna drop in the prompt that I'm going to be using. So again, gonna go match style because it's a different style here. And I'm just gonna make a quick adjustment just so it fits nicely in this box. So it's a black and white hand-drawn illustration of a proud hare laughing calmly at a tortoise. So that's gonna be the prompt. Now, we're going to be using this generative AI image that's already here, but just for those who may not have it, here's what we'll do. We'll go to media and we'll click on photos. And so let's see, Martha, I'm just going to type in tortoise and hair and see
Cute.
if we can see if we have an image that or something that will show up here. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, this is very humor. Okay, this is kind of fun right here. Okay, so look at that.
Cute.
So since we'll do a little, you mentioned like editing, Martha. So let's do
Mhm.
just play with this image here for a little bit. So I know we will get into the AI here, but just to show you, also this little badge that we have here, you actually don't. Once you start playing with the editing, you could actually, you can actually take it out. So let me just do a little resize here, and then here. So it's got, we still have our story. Maybe I don't have the AI turned on, but basically take an image and then we'll do this. We've got the image and we'll take effects and let's give this a grayscale look. Look at that. So now it's got that black and white style. And then we can go back to edit and let's play a little bit with some adjustments here. So like check this out. We're gonna like just play with the style, or I should say the adjustments here, and basically we can make it look like it's got kind of like artistic look at it. So I'm super like over sharpening it, but it gives it kind of like oh somewhat like if I had hand drawn it, but close to it. But check it out. So every classrooms, teachers, students, even if you don't have that generative AI turned on, you can still accomplish this using the media images in Express, in which there are thousands of them to use. So um, I'm going to go ahead and just because I like this image, I'm actually just going to sit it outside of the canvas area just to have it there, just in case I ever want to go back to it. Oh, maybe what I'll do is slide it out a little bit here. There it
I
is.
love your photographer eye in your editing process there.
All right. So, everyone, now what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the prompt that I have here. Martha, I don't know about you, but like that little hanging last word right there, curiously, it's just like, it's one of those things that just kind of like, I would say, bugs me a little bit. So, I'm going to go and do something right here. I'm going to resize everyone. I'm going to click here to decrease the fonts. There we go. Just that just makes me feel a little better. Just it
Hmm.
just fits nicely there. It's just like curiously was all alone down there hanging by itself. So there we go. So we've got this. So let's go over to our image right here. It's already a generative image that's been created. And what you'll do is click on the option right there. And so here's the prompt that was used to generate that image. But since we're changing our story about the tortoise and the hare, we're gonna go and basically, I have all of that. I'm just going to paste in all the new one, my new style. And uh, everything right here is already layered paper. I'm going to leave everything the way it is because I wanted to basically have that style. So everyone watching, you want to, if you want to maintain the look that's in the actual project template, so you want to leave everything else the way it is as far as like the styles, the content type. All you want to do is go and change the prompt. That's kind of like a little tip there to make sure it maintains that style. So we'll click on generate and let's see what we get, Martha. Um,
Yeah,
mm,
while that generates, just one of the things I love about this is when I was teaching elementary, it's so easy to just go in and replace and allow students to kind of remix it, reimagine, share their own perspective. But as I taught older grades, this is a good time to talk about mood and how you want your images to match the mood of the story and how important it is for imagery to come to life to help complete the message that you're giving. So that is something to consider. It's like even if you want it black and white, do you want it in color instead? Does it need something that adds a little life to it, or do you want it old timey look?
yeah, 100%.
They're
And
so cute.
these are coming out so great. I didn't point this out, but this layered paper style, like I'm like
My
that is,
favorite.
yeah. Right now, it's like I'm stuck on that. So, which is nice that this one has that. I just kind of, it's such a cool. I mean, look at that. It's like literally someone went through and cut paper. That just looks wonderful. Um, Now, some of you may not be able to see, but behind all of these generated images, there's a button. If you scroll through, it'll say generate more. So you can keep generating additional ones. If you don't get like it's like you're just trying to find that right one, which is challenging everyone because it's like um, there's so many choices, and that is so hard. But one of the things is pick one because then you could always come back later and change it out. So, okay, all right, Martha, we got our beginning of our story here of the tortoise and the hare. So, should we move on to the next page?
Yeah, I love the one you chose where they're talking to each other. Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we go. Now, this is the next scene here. So what we're going to do is again select this all. So basically the same steps, paste and match style. But what I'm going to do here is just going to change this out a little bit. What's here on the day. So over here it says but one day. I'm going to click here and I'm going to do this match style. So basically I'm just taking like the text that's in here, just there we go. On the day of the race, so the animals from all around gathered to watch, and the hare shot off like a streak of lightning, while the tortoise slowly trudged slowly along the path, confident he had plenty of time, and so slowly but surely he was taking those steps. So that is our next scene, and so we're gonna go ahead and generate the image for the middle section, and here we go. So we've got. We'll repeat the steps. We're back down here on the bottom. So now, also, one thing I do want to point out, check this out, is this is a design thing, Martha, that I think is great
Mm-hmm.
about books, whether it's in print or digital. So we have the image on the left side, but then when you go to the next page, it's like swaps out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like that because I think it helps whoever's reading it. It's that visual kind of like almost like throwing you off guard, but not off guard, but also just like to kind of keep you engaged in the actual book and the project here.
So true.
All right, so we've got the next scene of black and white. So this is hand drawn. Same thing. We're gonna go, which is this is such a great that picture there. It's fantastic. But here we go. We're back over to the generate image. Click on it. We're going to keep everything else the same. We're just going to swap out the prompt, layered paper style. All right, let's see what comes up here on this one. And then we're going to add some more stuff too once we get it. Martha, I think well, I had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to the next like the end like the ending is maybe have one let's add like a twist to it, like a to the traditional like story.
Ooh.
So okay,
Good,
there we
good.
go. So the rabbit is the hare is nowhere in sight because obviously the hare took off. So so we just have, you know, we've got him all alone there. So let me look at the original one. So if we've got that. So trying to pick, yeah, it looks pretty good, pretty consistent. I think I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Look at that. All right. So uh, we got once upon a time. They challenged, and so the rabbit took off, the hare took off. All right. Now, I'm sure you might be guessing, like if you know the story, um, that the tortoise obviously is the winner. So let's go. We got our next. We got the end, like the ending. Here we go. The hare lost the race, felt embarrassed, but instead of giving up, he trained harder and harder. The next time they raced, he stayed focused. And thank you for teaching me humility. Um,
Oh.
And so we're gonna take the prompt now for this one, and let's do it. Repeat the steps here. Here we go. I think students, teachers, you're watching this. I think like one of the nice things is we're repeating the process, so you kind of gets nicely ingrained into what we're doing here. All right, let's paste and match style. Well, okay, so we've got a lot of stuff bleeding out here, so let's fix this a little bit here. This is again one of those things that I want to adjust so it fits nicely in this text box right there. Maybe move it up
You
a
and
little
I
bit.
both.
I
That just
don't,
made me feel so much better. There's
I
nothing
know.
quite like making it fit.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's just one of those things that just want to make it. It just want it to look nice, want it to fit. It just makes you feel good.
Oh my gosh, so true. Michael, just pointing out some things coming from the chat. Michael said, I love using your methods to take my daughter's writings and making books for her. She gets so excited when she shares them with her teacher and the students in her class. So
Oh,
just
that's awesome. I
so
love that.
lovely.
It's fantastic. Okay. So thank you for sharing that. That's so great. It makes me feel good because like people are using this, using it and kind of with their students, but with their families and so on. That's so cool. Um, okay, here we go. I've again repeating the steps, and we're gonna hit generate and let's see what we get. And then and then um, I think maybe we'll talk about like if we want to continue the story, Martha, like what we can do.
Mm.
And then we could get some like creative with some, oh my man, that looks
Oh, that's
cool.
tiny on my screen till it pops up on the YouTube on this side. Sorry, y'all. I have two screens going, so I'm like a little delayed when I get to see the big version of what Claudia's sharing over here. Um,
Oh, look at that. I mean,
but oh my gosh, that's so cute. I like the checkered flag in the
yeah,
back.
it is, yeah. So I'm like, wow, these are just, yeah. So um, we got that one. I think I'm torn between these two right here. We got that one and this. What do you think, Martha?
I think that one.
Cool. I,
Yep.
it's like, also she's got that look like, yeah, I did this.
Right?
I
Like
got
the
it.
I did it.
It did. Okay. So, all right. So they basically like this is like where our story ends, like whether it be at the beginning, the middle,
Mhm.
ending. All right, let's get a little creative because that's what this is we're about. Like get being creative with this tool and being creative with the story. Uh, you know, I would say, and that that's how the story ends, but not sure. Not that's not how it ends today. We're gonna change this up. So right here we have this little note: duplicate this page to add to your story. Well, let's do that. First of all, I'm gonna delete that. Delete this badge here. And okay, so you may not be able to see this, everyone, where I'm pointing at. Actually, here's what I'll do. You'll see this. See these this little icon in the bottom right corner is super tiny.
Mhm.
It's got these four little squares. I'm gonna click there. This shows you this is all the projects. I'm sorry, all the pages within my project. And right up here, we've got the little three dots. Duplicate page.
Perfect.
So it's nice. I don't have to start over. Now, actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually undo this, Martha, because I'm gonna continue on the page. You probably already knew
Yeah,
what I was gonna
yeah.
do.
I'm
So,
like,
okay,
I
here we
got
go.
you.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna uncheck that. I'm gonna duplicate this one right here because I want that back and forth, back and forth.
Hmm.
And also, this is nice here because then we can rearrange. So click, we're gonna drag this over to the end.
Y'all, these are some pro tips right here.
Look at that. So we got that nice back and forth, back and forth,
Hmm.
back and forth. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the original last page of our story. So um let's think of an alternate ending. So here's our original ending. But we're gonna create an alternate ending to the tortoise and the hare. Um so I've got a couple of examples here. Let's see here. Uh, actually, I think I here. Let's do this. Just let's do this. We're gonna take this one right here.
Hmm.
We're gonna give it a little modern twist. Oh,
I
sorry.
love
I'm on
that.
I'm on
As
the wrong.
y'all are watching what Claudia is doing, I want you to think about how you might take a classic story and remix it. Think like Cinderella or the Three Little Pigs. The true story of the Three Little Pigs is a great example that we could be doing with this one. What wild twist could you add? Or even if you wanted to extend something like this, you could do an epilogue of like how the story actually ends or like a continuation of the story. So I love that you're showing us how to duplicate these pages and move them around, Claudio, because there's a lot that we could do here.
Yeah. So I went back and did a little changing. So here's the original, and here's the original ending because we all know that the
Hmm.
tortoise won. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, now here's going to be our alternate, our twist here. We have a little
Cute.
fun with this. Paste and match style. Just as the tortoise neared the finish line, the hare checked his phone. Distracted by social media, he didn't realize the tortoise had passed him. The crowd cheered as the tortoise won, not because he was fastest, but because he stayed focused while he hair lost got lost in scrolling. So that's kind of our little twist here on the our traditional
Shoot.
like the alternate the modern twist. Okay, so now let's have some fun with that modern twist here. So let's go with the new prompt here.
He crashed out, Claudia. Just doom scrolling over here.
All right, here's our prompt. The black and white hand-drawn illustration of the hare sitting under a tree distracted by his phone while the tortoise crosses. So, that's a little modern twist on the story here. So here we go. Repeat steps, click generate image,
Cute.
select all of this, paste a new one, keep everything else the same, and let's hit generate.
Have you
Okay.
seen that book, Claudia, Goodnight iPhone? It's like a variation of Goodnight Moon,
Oh, no, I don't think I have.
but it's all about like the tech world that we live in now. So like this has me like going through all these different ideas that we can do.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So here we go. Oh, let me go back. I think I unchecked. Here we go. Let's go back. So here, so that one's got that's a cool image. Look at this. This is funny. There's a phone on the tree. Let me see. I think I like that one right there. Like look at that. He's just sitting there.
Oh, yeah, that one looks kind of like too realistic of like a half person, half hair,
True.
but it's so accurate with the
Oh, this one's
down
really.
scrolling.
Look at that one.
Yes, to that.
Oh, look at here we go. Look at. Although I don't know why that's. We got a second little. We got the second. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Look at this. The tortoise has got some ears.
Hmm.
All right. Well, again, this students, teachers, you can definitely spend a ton of time to keep generating images, but I have to go and select one. I'm just letting these last ones generate. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let's go with that one right there because he looks like um he's looking at that and he's already passed. You know, he's gonna go past. All right. So check it out. So we've got our tortoise and the hare. We've traditional ending. We've got the modern twist, kind of alternative ending to the story. So now, Martha, let's have some since we've got some of the AI, we've got a kind of our story. Um, let's check out some of the other features in Express that we can add to this project. So what should we dive into first? Which one should we do?
Oh my gosh, Claudia, I am really embarrassed to admit this. I was responding to people in the chat
Oh,
and
no
told
worries.
what you just said. But Tim Cosgrove just said, my students enjoyed making prompts for the digital quilt project
Hmm.
that we did last month and learning to make all words count for creating the image, which was amazing. And then Jessica and I were chatting about Goodnight iPad. So
Oh,
apologies.
no worries. So
Could you please repeat
no,
yourself?
so since we've got kind of we've got our structure of our story, we talked about duplicating, adding. So now let's do some of the bells and whistles stuff with the pages. And so
Yay.
let's see, like, what should we do? What should we do first? Like, what should we, um,
Here's my low lift way to take this up a level. So, putting my thinking hat on, if I wanted to share this out with other people. So, when students are creating, right, it's amazing that we have access to their writing and that they're able to visibly show their work, their imagination comes to life, all of these wonderful things that happen when they create.
mhm.
But if it just stays here, and it doesn't go to anyone else, you're really missing out on that authentic audience that's so important in empowering creators and future ready creators at that. So you could take it as is and share to a gallery, right, Claudia? So that
Mhm.
would be like the initial step that I would do is how to share this out when it's done. But then we
Cool.
also know that students are multimodal, right? Like we don't always read and look at pictures. We oftentimes love audio or taking that visible creation to the next level. Um, my son has ADHD and my
Okay.
daughter does not. So I see that in our household all the time that I have to repeat things a lot for my son
Balance.
because his processing takes a little bit longer. So being able to have a video play or audio play on top of the words, so he's getting it in multiple ways, really helps him. So how can we do that?
Oh, okay. So we definitely, so I've got an idea. So here's what we'll do. Um, let's start off. So let's do this. Let's start by going over to the left-hand column, and we're going to go to media, and let's uncheck this because it's not tortoise in the hair. Let's go over to audio. So we'll do two things in audio. First, what I want to do is find something kind of like country, like an outdoorsy kind of music, maybe like track.
Mhm.
So let's see. Calm nature. Let's see what if we type in calm nature. Okay, so we've got a forest stream, hip hop for you background. Let's see. Nature. I want to pick something that's got a little bit of like length, like as far as like let's see what the forest one.
Jessica mentioned seeing that she can flip this where the teacher makes the images and the younger students who aren't reading and writing yet use one of the recording tools to tell the story.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
I love that. Bringing
um,
that down for the littles.
fantastic. Okay. So, I just typed in, let's see, nature, sounds of nature loop. Let's see here. This doom possible. That's a possible one. Life in nature. Let's see this one. Forestry.
I need people to comment over here that if they're like me, where I would literally go through each one of these and
I
click
know.
play for 10
Okay.
seconds.
I know. Okay, so
It'd be
here,
so
I'm just
long.
I'm just gonna go, let's see this one. I'm gonna go with this forestry one. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna click this forestry one. And okay, now something just happened, and everybody just kind of to see. Once I added that music, that soundtrack, I'm gonna click right here where it says pages. I'm gonna go back. Okay, here are my pages. One, two, three, four. Now, because I did that on the first one, let's go right here to the little three dots, a little snowman falling, laying down. Click on edit timeline. So now here we go. If I click here, so now we got the music right there that's in the background. But what I'm going to do next, since we're here in audio and you talked to like multimodal, Martha, so let's back this up a little bit and we're going to drop some of that audio level down. So this, what I'm doing right here is actually adjusting how loud that music track is. Um, this will vary depending on your device that you're using, like if you're using headphones or just a speaker. So
Mhm.
just be aware, like I'm putting 60%, it may be lower on your device or higher. So just kind of heads up on that. So now let me click play, which is kind of just, that's kind of like a nice, I would say level on my computer. So Martha, I think the next thing would be is let's go back to media, audio, and then we got this record voiceover.
I
So
love this so much. And Claudia, one thing, I don't know how many teachers know this, but this is royalty-free music. So
yes.
when
Yeah.
I go in and I add in this music, your students add in this music. We've had winners at like media festivals or tech festivals. I get emails, and I'm sure you do too, of teachers who are so excited that their students
Yeah.
were able to celebrate their creativity with like awards and things like that. And they don't have to worry about copyright issues with the
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, and I know there's one that Adobe does in partnership with NBC, the edit, and they've used some soundtracks. So
Mm.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, that royalty free. So no copyright strikes there. So I've got that nature sound. What I did is I stretched out the actual project page just to
What?
make it extend it a little bit. And just for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is click record. I'm just going to read like the first sentence, but basically, if
Mhm.
everyone, I would like read the whole like page. But I'm just going to read the first sentence, or I should say, record the first sentence here. So here we go. I'm going to start the recording.
Mhm.
Once upon a time in a sunny meadow, a speedy hare loved to brag about how fast he could run. Okay. And so there's my thing. And also, this is one feature. If you played with the record voiceover, it automatically has enhanced speech turned on, which is amazing. So if you got a classroom full of 30 students and they're all doing this at the same time, the enhanced speech, uh, whenever you do a voiceover, it's automatically enabled. And it does a fantastic job of just like equalize. I'm using technical words, but equalizing the audio, basically making everything
Yeah.
about the same level that it needs to be, and lowering down the background noise. So let's see what it sounds like now. And I'm actually going to adjust this because my voiceover was shorter. And what I love is when you do that, that music track automatically adjusts. So here we go. Let's hit play. Once upon a time in a sunny meadow, a speedy hare loved to brag about how fast he could run. So, like, the music is still a little loud for me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to make some adjustments to the music. I'm going to basically stretching it out, actually shortening it and stretching it out. Whoop, there we go. I think I went a little too far. Let's stretch it back. There we go. And let's bring this back down. All right. And I'm just going to lower the music down just a tad bit more. So again, this always varies. So let's see what it sounds like. A speedy hare loved to brag about how there we go. I think that's a lot nicer. It's kind of just all kind of evened out. So that is basically like our first one. But before we move on, Martha, I think I want to share this next. This is we've got the first image right here. So let's have some fun with
Hmm.
this. So we've got an voiceover. Let's take this image here, and there's some new animation effects
Hmm.
that if you haven't seen everyone, they're pretty awesome. So we go over here to animation, which are your ins and outs. But look at this. We got a visibility. Look at you see that everyone.
So cute.
I'm gonna just hover over so you can see what it does. So basically, it's like I'm doing the Bugs Bunny like sound, but that's all, folks. Somewhat like that, kind of like curtains opening up, and then you got the circle. Oh, that is okay. I
I like the
everyone's so
circle now.
yeah. I think I like that one is kind of like Bugs Bunny-ish. uh,
Hmm.
okay, so I'm gonna click the circle. Look at that. Oh, now what we'll do here is we'll click on the slider buttons and you have the option to make it like smooth. Basically, like this basically tells you like how that effect kind of acts, it behaves, I guess. And then you can make it the duration longer. Oh, that is so cool. So look at this.
I
So
like that.
now we'll hit play. And actually everyone here's I'm gonna do a little extra here for everybody. Because I just as I was doing this, I have an idea. I'm gonna stretch out the scene a little bit. I'm gonna leave the music. Uh, I'm gonna actually stretch out the music. But now my voiceover, which is this one, I'm actually gonna move my voiceover a little later. This is this is
Mm.
this is a little more extra, everyone. So what the reason I'm doing this is basically I'm adjusting or I'm basically altering where I my voice starts to come in. So what I want to do is I want that whoop, like that circle to open up and then my voice will start. So let's see if it worked out. I'm going to move this to the back and just hit play. A speedy hare loved to brag about how fast he could run. And then I can just keep again adjusting it. So that is yeah, I
My millennial self would absolutely love the little bling at the end because the way that I grew up, when you were
oh
listening in class, like I'm talking like probably from kindergarten through third grade, it was a big time for like audiobooks in class. But y'all, if you were Gen Z or Gen Alpha, just tune me out. But like back in my day, we used to have the tape recorders and we would have the cassette tape and we would have
yes.
these big chunky, they've come back now, but like the big chunky headphones, and we would
Yes.
all six of us sit around a little audio tape. Anyway, but it always had a little cute ding or
I
something as you turn the page.
Martha, I love that idea. So let's do this. We're going to go back to media. I've named what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the playhead towards the end and let's find a ding. I'm going to put
Love
ding. And let's see what we come up for ding. So let's see. There's several links here. 1 second. Let's see. Let's try this one. Okay, no. Uh, what we could just what is that? Just the bell here.
A bell
Uh,
would work. I would also be a little sassy, maybe. I would have a kid or two in my class actually say ding.
ding. Yeah,
I could
I
see
like
them doing
that.
that too.
Okay, so we got like alarms. Okay, that's kind of
I'm
again.
giving
So
a shout out to Ashley because she and I are on the same page. She just said listening stations were the best. I remember those well. You and me, Ashley, for life.
let's see. Bellhop. Let's see. I don't know if bellhop. No. What would you call it? Just that the one you ding you press.
I
I
mean, like a welcome bell
okay.
or
Bell.
a front desk bell, but I'm not sure how it would be classified. Y'all, help
Yeah.
us out. We are clearly missing whatever keyword we would need.
I've got all these like future sound. Okay, this is a church. This can be. That's very loud. Okay, what?
Okay.
Oh, I think I accidentally added the bell sound. Okay, anybody have? Okay, so if we get stuck, then what we're gonna do? We're just gonna pick one that's close enough. Let's see. Okay, that's very futuristic.
Jessica Adams, yes, ma'am. This Gen Xer remembers books with a super flimsy record that you ripped out of the back. Yes, I remember those as well.
Okay, we got a like a doorbell. Okay, so again, this is where the challenge. Oh, a chime. Oh, how about a chime? Let's see.
Okay, you know what Claudia and I are really doing right now is reminding you all that best practice is have your students write their stories ahead of time. Because if they are writing it as they're creating it in here, guess what we're all going to get super focused on?
Exactly. Okay, so here we go, Martha. We're just gonna pick one of these and three. That's gonna work for us. Here we go.
Where whether it does or not,
Yeah.
we gotta
So
make
here
it
we
work.
go. So let's see here. Let's hit play.
He could run.
And actually, let me stretch this out, and then we're gonna move the little bell.
That's going to be my new t-shirt for you. Let's stretch it out.
Here we go.
Run.
There we go. That's our little bling. All right. We got it. We got it to work. We got it to work.
Okay.
Okay. So Martha, like the challenge with doing these live is that we spent a pretty good time here on this one page within the project. So just to do a quick recap. We've gone through, we've animated the image, which we went through animation just to make sure everybody remembers. We got the in, we did the circle option. So that's what gives us this whoop kind of look right there. I've gone through to media and went recorded voiceover. So I've just read like the first sentence. We also within audio, we actually did three things. We found the music track, which is kind of like that little nature sound that was in there for us. And
Mm-hmm.
then we did that little ding, that little chime, because I like you, Martha, I remember the tapes and you know, hit play and then bing, then you would turn the page. So that is what we did on this page. So I would repeat, go click on pages here and basically repeat the steps for these other projects.
Yes.
So now because of time, we're not going to be able to go through all of them, which I would love to. So, but I do want to address our what you said, like Martha, like our project is sitting here.
Yes.
Where do we take it from here?
Great question.
And so,
Where would we take this? So there's a couple different things, right?
mhm.
So I hesitate. Okay, so I think oftentimes when we do Adobe Lives, we end because we're like, oh my gosh, we get so concentrated in the creation phase. Up in the top right hand corner, I want to point out that there's a couple things that we can do before we finalize what we send out, right? There's a comment feature on here. So, like as a teacher or as a collaborator, I can go in and add comments like, I really love your use of adjectives here, so and so. But have you considered like how you can take this to the next level or like who, what, when, where, whatever feedback you're giving them. And not only can you add to pages, but Claudia, did you see the update that came out this week where we can now comment on specific design elements.
Yes, yeah. So let's go back
I'm seeing
here.
like Michael and Tim and Jessica and Ashley and others that are in the chat. Like we got some high flyers that may not have seen this
Yeah.
particular update.
I'm so glad I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, I saw that come through like in everyone we get like these updates and sometimes we can't keep up with them. And so
Right.
yeah, so I'm gonna right click on this image right here and then right there it says comment. So I can
Mhm.
literally comment just on this piece right here. Do you see the little speech bubble that pops up? This is huge. This is a huge update because like instead of just having the comments on the right side for everything, yeah, I love this
I
is a
love
huge
it
update.
because like community, y'all give us feedback all the time and we take that back and they listen and they adapt and they make this even better. Because you know what would have happened? We all know those kids, and I was one of them too until I learned better. That curiously that you had down at the bottom, I would have just left there.
Hmm.
Now, as a teacher, I would have gone into that text box specifically and said, hey, maybe you want to resize this because it is distracting on the page at this point. You know what I mean? So, like, those are just little ways that I might use that comment button or, have you thought about adapting your prompt in this way or
Yeah.
something like that? So it's
Yeah, I
cool.
love that. And so everyone, when you're in here too, is you're all in the same domain, basically your whole district, your school, your classmates, and so you could like you can at like somebody where I'm kind of like in an artificial environment right here. This is not like
Mm-hmm.
but basically, you can basically mention somebody, and it goes directly to them, like via the notification. So you can uh, have go like directly to that one person. They can respond back to you, and specifically to like to one piece. So
Mm-hmm.
this which is huge and fantastic. And of course, there's a little I don't know if you saw it, but there's little emojis you can add as well. So like thumbs up, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad you brought that up. And then so after that we've got
Let's say
download.
it's done. Now, what do we do, Claudia?
Yeah, now we're done. So if you can choose the download button right next to that
Mm-hmm.
the comment button, and you can download all of it. You have PDF, so you can download it as a PDF, so it'll be static, and you can print these out, or you can download because this has become a video here. You can download it as a video project, and it basically lives on your device. But Martha, we want others to be able to see it, and so the download, which is great. But if we go to share, we can basically create a view only link, basically publishing this on the web. And the reason I want to do this, so I'm going to click view only link, and while it's doing this, and now it's going to do all 4 pages. I'm going to have
Mm-hmm.
it create links. Hopefully, it'll while we're having this little discussion, I'm going to let that generate because what happens now? This is a published link. It is safe, so it's not like somebody can go find this and search for it. But like Martha, I can get this and share it with you, vice versa. You share it with me, share it with students, share it with your classmates. But I'll hopefully like see how fast it generates her because if we can show like I want to show that beep, the little there it is. Yay,
There
yay. All
it is.
right. There it is. Okay, so here we go. And this is what it'll look like. And you can share it through like an LMS if you have Schoology, Canvas, or Google Classroom. Obviously,
Yeah.
of course, you have Adobe Express Classroom that you can use as well. Check that out. Okay, let me pause it because it started to play automatically. So here's page one. And let's see. I think where's my audio? Okay, let's try this out. Let's hit play.
A speedy hare loved to brag
Perfect.
about how fast he could run.
The ding, and then look, ding, we go to the next page. So, and then we go and have the little ding at the end of this one, go to the next page. So, like,
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And you know, Claudia, it's October. So I'm thinking, I live in Atlanta, and a lot of our schools down here are starting to do curriculum nights and things like that. And so
yeah,
at this point, you may have already done a unit or you're going to be doing a unit that you want to share specifically with parents. Like taking those links and creating QR codes, which we're going to run out of time. We can't do all that
yeah,
today. But we also have a QR code generator in Express that you can put directly here, print all these off, and then you can have those on display for parents to be able to listen and like
yeah.
interact with at curriculum
Absolutely.
time.
100%. Everybody, Well, that was Fast and Furious. And unfortunately, we're almost gonna get to part ways. But thank you everyone for joining. All of you from all across all the different states and schools and students and teachers. Thank you for joining and being with us. We appreciate you all. Again, to just explore Adobe Express. All the different ideas we shared with you and all other ones. Please do tag us on
Mhm.
social at Adobe EDU Creative. Be sure to tag us, like if you create something and share it out. Um, but definitely share it out because we want to see what you're all creating.
100%. Hashtag Adobe EDU Creative or tag Claudio and myself. I think on the screen, we would love to see what your students create. And if you have questions too, that's the other thing, Claudio. People DM us, they'll email us. Like, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We just absolutely love connecting with you and helping your students and teachers. So make sure also we come back every week for Adobe Live, Claudio. Like, make sure you
Yeah.
hit that subscribe button, stay connected. And if you're curious about joining, if you're an educator and you want to stay connected, adobe.ly/ACE signup is how you can connect with us through the ACE Leader community and get monthly meetups and all the things.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited. What are we
Well,
doing next week? Do you know?
yeah, Martine and Wesley are going to be leading next Thursday, I believe. Deep dive into your voice, your message, digital citizenship in Adobe Express. So be sure to check it out, everyone. And thank you all for joining. Martha, always lots of love. It was so great to work with you today on this session and look forward. I can't wait till we see each other again in person. We don't always get
I
to see each other in
know.
person, so it's always a treat to do virtual, but we'll see each other soon. Everyone, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your I was going to say Saturday, Friday. Enjoy Saturday too.
For our Friday. All right, y'all. We
Yeah.
love you. Have a fantastic weekend.